Hello YouTube friends. I don't know about you, but when I eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I want the nut butter to come naturally to me. Now those natural nut butters and peanut butters in the store are outrageously expensive. So for years I have been making my own. I'm not really a big fan of the nutritional value of peanuts. So I use other nut butters, and the nut butter I usually choose depends on what nuts are for sale at that particular, on sale at that particular point in time. Well, I just use anything I have handy: nuts, seeds, spices, flavorings, always salt, never sugar. Come with me and see how I do the next round of nut butter. Okay, so we carefully measure everything around here. I'm going to put in this whole quart jar of walnuts because I love the nutritional value they lend. I'm going to put in half of this jar, so half a pint of sesame seeds, or a little bit more. Who's counting? And then these are cashew pieces, and I'm going to put in half that jar because this is getting full. I may or may not add more. The last thing I'm going to add is some raw pistachios. Now, I get these from Azure Standard, and if you'd like that link, go into, I'll put it actually into the comments down below, so you can take advantage of that if you haven't already. And I'm going to put a little bit of these in because if you do it all cashews or a large majority of pistachios, then it's going to give it a green hue. And for anybody that's, head to work, sometimes that's not so good. And we measure carefully. That's enough of those babies. And then I'm going to add, carefully measured, I'm actually measuring this, it's about a tablespoon of salt. I don't have any cumin, so I won't be adding cumin. But we do have cinnamon in. We love cinnamon. I'm going to add a generous amount of that. And a generous amount of cloves. You can add any spice you want to. If I had ginger, I would add ginger, but I am in a house right now with no ginger. Imagine. So I'm going to use a nutmeg, because A, I love nutmeg. Who doesn't? And two, it is always more intense when you use the nutmeg. I can, even though my nose is broken, I can smell that waft of nutmeg coming up. And a person can have 1/4 of a teaspoon a day. You don't want to do more than that because it is, it becomes toxic. We don't want to do that way. We want to actually pulse it first to start the show. Otherwise, your blades will dull. And I'm just going to turn this on and I'll be back. seems to have stopped, but if you wait a minute, it will start moving again. See how it's slowly moving? It's working on the inside. I am going to stop it and readjust. Now see on the inside it's coarse and grainy. This is a good time to taste it to see what the flavorings are like. There's enough salt. I wish I had ginger, but it's really good. It tastes really good. We're going to go with it. Yep. I'm just going to take a sturdy spatula and fluff that up a little bit. Take up from the bottom without hurting the blades. Just break it apart a little bit. To stop it right here because I have the end of my last jar and I want to wash this jar because I have used it since Noah hit dry dock and I have not washed it probably a year. I just keep adding more nut butter to it and it's probably a better practice to, you know, wash your stuff like you wash your sourdough container every now and again. You really should wash your nut jars now and again too. And we'll clean that out as best as possible. And I'll get a new jar for my nut butter. And that's pretty well cleaned out. Unless you got kids around and want to lick that out. That's as good as enough. Now I'm going to stop it and check the creaminess. We know the flavor is there, but how's the creaminess of it? I can still taste some granulas in there, so we're going to let it go. Now I've stopped it again, and it looks a little bit creamier to me. So I'm going to take this little spoon here and see if the creaminess has changed any. Yep, there we go. There's no grittiness whatsoever, but the flavor's there. It's a little stickier, which is what all the natural nut butter people love. We're gonna call that good. Now this is the part about making nut butter that I don't like the most, the cleaning up. Even though I love washing dishes. Who loves to wash dishes? Kate does. This is the part that's the most difficult. Let me bring you down, show you what you're doing. It doesn't pour out. It's rather glumpy, but it's oh so good and well worth it, I think. Now, we have this thing in here, in the middle, that's covered in nut butter. And we're going to try and dig it out. And it comes out in a clump. Is it worth it? I think so. Oops, 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 oops. Fortunately, when my fingers get all filled with nut butter, I've got two things to do about it. I can put it in the water, or I can put it in my mouth. But this blade, I tend to wash right away, even though I haven't finished taking all the nut butter out. I don't like leaving that in the water, because sure as God made little green apples, I'm going to cut myself. And I don't put it in the dish drain either, because I want somebody to not get cut. So I put it on the back of the sink where people can see it, and it doesn't take long to dry. It's just letting it dry. So I've got it into containers, and the last thing you want to do is you want to get rid of, see these bubbles here? You don't really want bubbles like that in your nut butter. Okay, so you have to pound it down until the bubbles come out. And you'll see the bubbles coming out the top. You want a nice smooth, there's a bubble there. You want a nice smooth wall with no bubbles. See those bubbles popping out? If I did this on the counter, the dog would bark towards the door. There we go. No bubbles. And you want to leave it on the counter until it's no longer warm. And I had a little bit more, so I could put it into a half pint, but I grabbed a pint and I'm not going to switch it over. What did I do with my other cover? There it is. And we just leave it on loose until they cool off. If you enjoyed that nut butter recipe and how to do it, leave a comment below, like my video, and share it with somebody else that likes nut butter too. Until I see you next time, may you be as blessed as you are a blessing to others. Bye now.